Hello, welcome to the Away Day Experience Show here on Back of the Net. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
All about the away days, isn't it, Tom, this show?
Love an away day, mate.
Love an away day. And the title explains what we do. We review away days. Nothing to do with the football. It's everything but. It's the experience of getting up there, which pubs we go to, and all that jazz. We don't take into account what happens on the pitch, which means we've got a really cool way of ranking them. And that is, Tom, a tier list.
Oh, of course, gotta love a tier list, mate. Yeah, got a nice little tier list there so we can put all the different clubs in there and then you can work out whereabouts you are. And it's nothing, as Sam said, it's nothing to do with what happened on the pitch. It's about the away day experience on the whole.
So I can see 5 categories there. Talk me through them, mate.
Right at the top, banging visit. Oh, just like everything you think that was the perfect away day. In terms of the away day experience. Then we've got decent day, so you're really happy with the away day experience itself and then can't complain in the middle, which is kind of what you expected. Nothing to moan about too much. Nah, not the best, where it was a bit underwhelming, I guess. And then right at the bottom, what a waste of petrol, which is just wish you didn't do it and don't have to do it again, really.
Do you find it hard to mentally separate yourself from thinking about the football?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult, but we do enough shows. Yeah, we do enough shows, don't we? We do. If you're not subscribed, do that because you'll be able to find out. But we do second looks and fan cams after games. You've got the vlog in there. We do previews, so we do enough talking about the game. So yeah, this is where we try and alleviate from that. And there's been times this season where it's been so good on the pitch away that it's been hard. And but you can see from the tier list itself, Liverpool's done all right. We lost 9-0, so yeah, says all.
So what kind of things do you talk about during this then? Because there must be some criteria of how to rank this thing.
I'm really glad you asked, Sam. There's pre-match experience, so before the game, getting up there, what you do before the game. Normally we go to the one of the away pubs, go in there, what's that like? Then we talk about the concourse and the refreshments within the stadium, then the stadium and the view from the away end itself. Then we talk about the atmosphere from the home fans on the day, and then finally we talk about the people that we catch up with and the home fans and what they're like as people. So after doing all that, gives me an easier way to kind of mould and think, where should it go on the tier list? Okay,
so which club are we doing this week? I think you know, but we're doing... There we go! Crystal Palace. Selhurst Park. Have you been there before, mate?
Yeah, I've been there a few times. I think I've only seen us win there once.
Yeah.
Yes, in the pink kit, so I wore it again. For luck. Didn't work. But I've had some all right ones there, and yeah, I've always had a decent experience there, so yeah, I was looking forward to it. But you've been a few times before?
I've never been.
Oh, you've never been?
Never, yeah, so this is brand new for me, but I'm thinking to myself, London away day. I'm thinking you get on the train, just get the overground tube, or you can get the butty or whatever. Train strikes.
Yes, not great timing. I remember thinking a while ago, like, oh, well, Andy, we haven't got London on Coronation Weekend, but would have been better because we might have been able to get there on a train. Yeah, so I feel we always say caveats because obviously there's loads of caveats with weather and all this stuff. This is another one of them. It's not Palace's fault, but there were train strikes, which was a nightmare.
It's just annoying because I was like, I pre-booked train tickets. They were a reasonable price. I was thinking, have a few tinnies on the train. Oh, so yeah, ended up driving up. But you know what? Palace is relatively easy to get through to. M27, M3, M25 down to Croydon, and then we parked up.
Quite easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, near to a pub, and look, there was a few different options of pubs. So Prince George, I think most Bournemouth fans went to, and
including Jim Frivola.
He
was in there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. But we went to the Portland Arms, didn't we?
Yeah.
We don't always choose the kind of pubs that are a bit left field, but we did because it coincided with our travel plans. So we sort of like texted the group saying, let's go there. And I really liked that pub actually.
Yeah, I did. I've never been there before.
Decent pub.
Yeah, really nice. Got there. The staff were nice. Opened it up, and I think
good. Yeah,
I think it was at 12, and we got there a little bit early, and just stood outside. They just opened it up. But yeah, and it was like because of the weather, it was nice, and they got nice outside space, TV for the early game.
Yeah, it was like part sheltered, but heaters out there, TV like you say, watching the Newcastle Leeds game.
Yeah, that was all good. I'm still in the bar. Yeah. Everything was fine. Mate.
Food was.
Yeah, you had food.
Food was well nice as well. Yeah, I had some food.
Yeah, so that was really nice. I really enjoyed all that, and like I say, a bit annoying with the travel, having to change travel plans. And that goes in with the pre-match, but apart from that, I think the pub,
mixed pub as well.
Mixed pub, but it was just really nice. I really enjoyed it, so I've still got to go pretty high. I would have gone higher if it was one for the train strikes. I'm sorry about that, but got to go for a solid 7, haven't we?
Yeah, solid 7. There we go. 7 for pre-match experience. Right, on to concourse and refreshments.
Oh dear.
What?
Oh, people aren't happy with the concourse.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, talk me through it. Why? Why?
Loads of different things.
I mean, it's old school, mate. By the way, I've only just started watching Ted Lasso.
Have you?
Yeah, only just started,
Oh,
like
okay.
literally. So, and I had no idea it was filmed at Crystal Palace.
Right.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, where the away fans go, I mean, Tim Pot, but
The weird thing is, if people like if yourself, where if you'd said to me, "Oh, what's Concourse of that like?" Because you've been a few times before, and I've never been. I'll say, "Oh, it's great, mate." Because if the weather's alright, okay, you're outside, you have a bed, you can all dance. Because I think I remember being there on like, the last day, and everyone was dancing and that, and I was like, "It's cool. It's really open space, like it." And yeah, there's obviously still aspects of that. I quite liked kind of being able to just stand outside, have a beer and a fag and that, and it was all cool. But the facilities, particularly for our women's supporters, was not good.
no.
I mean, the men. To be fair, the men's toilets. I mean, I think they've got two. It's just absolutely manic. It's absolute chaos.
I honestly, like in this day and age, I'm actually sort of surprised they get away with it.
Yeah, I am.
Because there should be sort of minimum sort of requirements, really. But 3 women's toilets, one of which was blocked.
Yeah.
There wasn't toilet roll in one of them. It was flooded.
Yeah.
There were queues that were the queues were unbelievable. Like the sort of women were actually going into the men's.
Yeah.
You know, to go to the toilet. That's bad.
That is really bad. I think there was only I think at half time there was only one toilet for the women, and it was just yeah, it was.
I mean, like we've got all these like Her Game 2 things, and like clubs are getting behind it. Like I don't know if Palace are, but surely that's one thing you need to look at.
There was actually we know from Heather, don't we? There was actually an event this weekend, like a Her Game 2 event, and then you go to the game and you see
Real
that
bad.
really poor. And I hope it is just kind of a real one-off thing that unfortunately we've happened to be there and experience it, but. Definitely need to look into that.
Need to sort it.
And
Yeah.
I think it was more. I think what normally is it's kind of the staff around it and that, and the stewards. I don't think there was that much compassion towards it either. They seemed a little bit like, "Oh, get on with it."
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit harsh, and it ruined. Obviously, men's toilets were okay, but it ruined a lot of people's experiences, which was a shame to see.
I can understand them making it hard for you, like making it very gritty in the away change room and stuff. Because you
Yeah.
want to get competitive advantage, but fans as well. I think. But you know, at least once you get in there, you get a pretty decent view.
Yeah, we'll go on to that in a minute. Yeah. But yeah, in terms because of that, I've got to mark it down because otherwise.
By the way, can I just say something?
Go on.
Lucy, she went up to grab a coffee, right? And where we were sat sort of on the right hand side, so pretty much parallel with the goal line. And she was allowed up the steps to the right hand side, but she wasn't allowed back down. Yeah. So she completely lost her bearings of where she was. The stewards were fine to let her through, but not back. She got a coffee, which was a Kenko, in possibly the thinnest insulated cup in the world. The person behind the till didn't even put the lid on like properly. She scalded her hand.
No, it's bad.
You know, came back really disorientated and upset of the experience of not being able to find us and stuff. Her hand was that was fucking poor, mate. That was really bad.
And she went back up to him like with her scalded hand, saying,
yeah.
"Can I just run through because I can see the people I'm with, but I don't know how to get round to it."
Yeah.
And they're just saying no. It was just poor, poor.
But anyway, as a result,
yeah, just really poor, mate. And then I mean, little side note, as I went up to get a they got San Miguel here. I'll have a pint of San Miguel. Can I have a pint of San Miguel, please? Don't do it at this bar. It says San Miguel. So I had to have I can't remember what I had, Carlsberg, I think. But anyway, yeah, unfortunately, I'm hoping it's a one-off. Let us know, Palace fans or anyone that's...
you look really bitter.
Yeah, no, but it's just, we've got to go with our experience on the day. I did, I caveated it with, when I've been there before, I've had no problems. And if there's fans of other clubs that are watching this and have gone to Selhurst this season on an away day, was it any different for you? But in terms of our experience on the day, mate, really, really bad in terms of concourse and refreshments and all that stuff. So I'll go 2.
2 out of 10 for concourse and refreshments. And look, there've been a number of tweets from Bournemouth fans. I remember Nick Smith posted one as well. He didn't tag Crystal Palace in it at all, but one fan's seen it and it's exploded.
Oh, really?
And a lot of fans are very protective of their own club, as you would be, and retweeting it with a lot of jokes and telling him to man up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
if anyone knows like kind of tin pot facilities and stadium, it's Bournemouth, all right? Yeah. We can speak about it because we've got one ourselves at the moment.
Why is it actually that why have we got such fond feelings about teams like Luton? There's arguably worse than Palace. Yeah, Palace not. Is it because they're Premier League and they just haven't improved their facilities? Maybe.
Maybe it's weird. Like I say, before all this, I mean, I still quite like Palace. I like some of the players who've talked about football and that. Quite like Crystal Palace as a football club. And I've always it's just this one experience
just bad.
On these things. Just awful.
Like I said, the views are right there, isn't it?
Oh, how do they get away with this? By the way,
they put a gantry as well to make the view even worse. Like you have to sit a certain percentage of the way down the stand to actually see the whole pitch, because otherwise you've got like black roof at the top of it, and that's no good.
And fortunately, because I've been there before a few times, we made sure we got. Obviously, we go to all the games, we got the points, so made sure we got the seats, as best view as you can, and it's still crap. And they're the best, and you know that you've got one of the best views in the away. Yeah. I don't know how they get away with that. In terms of, it's not really an even playing field, is it? The away fans, they can't even see the bloody game.
I mean, even Chris Temple from his commentary box had a pillar right in front of his face, so he was like having to weave and duck to even commentate on the game. And even still, you could just see the far byline, the very top, just really under the roof,
really bad. I mean. Another quick caveat, just to quickly go onto the pitch. I'm glad I didn't see much of it, because it wasn't good from a ball perspective. But the view is absolutely terrible. I don't think I've ever had a worse view at a football match.
They are looking to redevelop.
Yeah,
it. I mean, it needs it. I mean,
the stadium's okay. I don't mind the stadium, but the view from the away end is an absolute disgrace. It's awful. Trash. I'll just go same as what I did the category above. Go 2.
2 for stadium in view. Right, okay, the atmosphere then. This is an interesting one, because two fan bases that were relatively on the beach. Obviously, we're just talking about them, not us, okay? So, Crystal Palace fans will probably look at us thinking, in the second half, you weren't really singing. In the first half, I think we were. Talking about Southampton again, not that we've got a fixation on them or anything. But the Palace fans...
Can we just say bye to them, because they won't be on the away day experience show next year?
Cheerio.
Yeah. Carry on.
But the Palace fans, were they very loud in parts?
Yeah, I feel for them a little bit, because my expectations are pretty high. People talk about the atmosphere there, and I've been there before, and I always think they're the best home fans. They're the best home fans. They sing non-stop. They got that little group in the corner. Don't stop all game, and it really is good. But I was really surprised. I thought it was alright. But normally it gets really going. And I thought. Obviously, this is the one where we always have to tap into the pitch a little bit in terms of atmosphere, because it's how the game's going. They won the game comfortably. They've been on a decent run, and they're now safe when they were worried about it. They've got some really good players. They played some good football. They controlled the game throughout, really, and I thought it was pretty dead.
Yeah.
Not. There's been worse, and if you haven't watched any before, go back. There's a lot worse. But I thought this might be one of the best, and it wasn't.
Was this maybe some of their fans sort of almost in their heads
on the beach themselves
treated this as an exhibition game or a testimonial or something, so they just weren't. I mean, it got loud obviously after they scored, and I'm feeling glad all over. And you know what? At one stage, I was actually singing.
Yeah, that's catchy, isn't it? Yeah, it's catchy. Jim Favola.
Yeah, like I cut that out of the vlogs. I was like, that I'm now singing their song, but and there were moments where they were sort of loudish, but really, I think it was a fairly underwhelming one, really.
Yeah. Like I say, it's difficult. I don't think it's one of the worst, but it wasn't as strong as I thought.
There were a few of their fans doing the Poznan. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That was quite good.
Yeah, that's good laugh. I think it's fair to go down the middle then. I'll go average. I'll go 5, because I think it probably was. Yeah, I'm going to go 5.
Yeah. Okay, and finally the people as well, and. I like Palace fans.
Yeah, I've got no problem.
I do like Palace fans. I'll level with you. I chatted to a couple in the pub, a few in the pub. Will, Joseph, a few others that weren't featured on the vlog, and they're just kind of sound people, because they sort of know where they're at as a club. They're not a club that have been promised the earth in terms of European football and stuff, but they're a team that thinks they probably should be in the Premier League, and they're right to do so. They flirt with relegation. They were getting frustrated with that, but now they're probably in their right place. But they're in a good place, and as such, I think they're kind of placid fans, really. Yeah,
never had any problems, and quite enjoyed chatting football with them. Everyone I met was quite nice, so yeah, no problems at all, mate. To be honest with you, and they seem a good group. And it's a shame, because I don't mind Palace. Quite like Palace. I think I said it earlier. I don't mind them at all. It's a real shame that I know the next season, because we're both staying in the Premier League, that. Now because of this one experience, we're thinking, that wasn't very good last time. So I hope it was a one-off in terms of the stuff that we've mentioned. But yeah, about the people, absolutely no problem at all. So I've got to go fair, solid 7.
Yeah, solid 7. I agree with that. And you know what? After the game, they were sound.
Yeah,
like, they walk by. Like usually, like you get these kind of goading comments, but nothing.
At all.
Yeah. Okay, so this brings us to our tier list. Let's see it. There it is. Okay, so I mean, there have been some good ratings, people. There have been some good ratings, pre-match experience, but how much of that does that really mould what you think of their match day? Probably not much when you're thinking of the stadium, you're thinking of the view, you're thinking of the refreshments, you're thinking of the atmosphere. Those are the things that you remember from the game. A little bit of the pre-match we're going to, I'm sure, take into account.
Of course. Yeah. I was toying with thinking, you know, with the pub being good, does that kind of lift it enough? But I think in general, I was trying to think of this as how will I remember it, and I remember this away day experience of being one that was poor and that people were really annoyed about. Certain bits of it weren't good enough. So I can't. I've just got what a waste of petrol. It's going in the bottom.
Oh my God!
I never thought. If you had said to me, start the season, you're going to put Palace in the bottom tier, I'd have said no chance. But I've got to go off the experience.
I genuinely thought it could be in Bang & Visit. I
know before the start of the season. Yeah, I know. I was really, really disappointed. So hopefully when we go back there next season, it'll be a big, big change. But, you know, we've never had... When we go after the season, obviously we've got one more away game to go at Everton. But if you said, what were the worst facilities, what was the worst... the answer's going to be Crystal Palace, so I can't not put it bottom.
If females can't even go to the toilet
and
have to queue half an hour just to get to the loo, that's terrible.
I don't think it would be fair then to then not put it at the bottom when they've had them sort of experiences. So,
I mean, you know, I think they've got enough space to even have some like Portaloos or something like that, but they just haven't.
Like I say, I'm just hoping this was a real one-off. And this isn't something that happens all the time in that away end, but
and it was a waste of petrol as well because we couldn't get the train. So I think there we go. Look, we are going to recalibrate this table at the end of the season. We're going to maybe move a few clubs up and down based on our overall view. Look, we got one to go. Be interested to see if anyone joins Newcastle. But Palace fans, what are you thinking? Are we bitter? Are we salty? Because we tried to not think about the football. Honestly, nothing to do with the football.
They were a good team, miles better than
us.
They were.
Yeah, they were miles better.
That. And I think it's more disappointment. I'm really disappointed because I was really looking forward to this one.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, that's what I want to say to Palace fans. I'm not angry with you. You're a nice club, and I've always enjoyed time there. But I'm really disappointed in my experience.
There you go. Well, next in this series is Everton. You can subscribe if you like and like the video. Yeah. Palace fans, don't dislike it. Please don't. We're not bastards. It's just what happened on the day.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
See you in the next one. Other cherries.
Out the chairs.
Cheerio.
Get some effing bog roll. Get some effing bog roll. Back in the day!